All right, finally, hello, welcome to IT Security Labs. Our stream is a little delayed today because my microphone started having issues, so I hope this one is doing well. If you're just joining us, this is our weekly live stream on YouTube, and we try to make sure that we meet every week and we talk about hack the box, we might hack a machine, and we also talk about security. So this is a really, really great opportunity for us to meet and motivate each other. And also feel free to ask me any questions that you might have in the comments section. I'm here to answer any questions from our monitoring staff to whatever we have here. And thank you everybody for joining us. I apologize, our stream was a little delayed today. My microphone, my Yeti microphone, started giving me issues. So I hope this is doing well. This is my backup microphone. So let me know in the comments how this sounds. All right. So as you can see from the title, I had planned to attack a machine from Vulnhub called DC, and then we were going to monitor it in here. So as you can see, what I have here is my Wazuh. I don't know how to pronounce that, and I have a machine called DC, and this DC machine is vulnerable. And what better way than to add it to our lab, attack the machine, and hopefully this picks it up. So that's what I was hoping to do. And it turns out that I need to customize the rules, but we will still attack the machine anyway. And thank you all for joining today. Just give me 1 second here. Let me let everybody else know. I just need to check my audios on my phone and let me know in the comments how this sounds. Once in a while, I need to check myself to make sure that it's actually working because I've seen that I talk and then um, people don't get it. Like the audio is not coming to everybody, and I'll be thinking that it's working. So let me know. Awesome. I just got confirmation, a text here that it's working. How is everybody doing? How was your week last week? Did you manage to complete our Hack the Box machine? I know I did. I ended up getting root, but it was, I think, by Wednesday or something like that. Oh, thanks, Leo. Leo says the quality is good. All right, thank you very much. Appreciate the feedback. Okay, just letting everybody also know. I need to start scheduling this even on our Facebook group as well. So the good thing is we have a machine called DC, and it's very easy for us to attack because the attack is pretty straightforward. I was hoping to really get the attack going, deliver some exploit, and detect it using Wazuh, but that might not actually work. So let's get started here. First, we go to Vulnhub. All right. Awesome. So yeah, people haven't had a chance to take a look at the machine. All right. So today's machine here, I think it's called DC1. Here, I think there's a series for these DC machines because I see DC6, DC2, and DC1 here. So this is our machine. I just decided to do this because it's a fairly simple machine and we haven't used Metasploit at all on this channel. And I know people say we are trying to go for the OSCP, so we should try to avoid Metasploit. But it's one of those simple machines that we can do with Metasploit, but we can also do with custom exploits. So I figured if we do it one way or another, it doesn't really matter. And let's see what this machine is saying here. It's a purposely built vulnerable lab for the purpose of gaining experience in the world of penetration testing. It was designed to be a challenge for beginners. So that's really good. We are all beginners, right? But just how easy it is to well developed. How just how it is depends on your skills and knowledge and your ability to learn. Okay, so that's good. I went ahead and downloaded this machine, and I'll show you where I put it in here. I have VMware Fusion. Let's drag it. Right. So all my lab right here, right now, is set up in VMware Fusion. I have my Kali Linux machine, which I'm going to be using in a minute here to attack it, and our DC vulnerable machine, which I'm also set up in my virtual machine lab. VMware Fusion comes with a license. So if you like VMware Fusion, you should maybe get a license. But if you don't have a license, that's okay because you can also set up the same lab in VirtualBox. In fact, I do have VirtualBox on this machine right here, as you can see. I just happen to have a license for VMware Fusion, but if you don't, that's fine. So that's the setup. Is we are going to be attacking DC from Kali Linux. So if you're just joining us, that's what we are doing here. So now that we know, you can download this one from Vulnhub, which is fine. And then let's connect to our Kali and get started. Okay, now that it's connected. Okay, so we are just trying to sign in. All right, let's clear that. All right, so the first thing that I do before I attack any machines, whether on Hack the Box or Vulnhub, is I try to stay organized. So what I do is, if I do an ls here, you see that, um, wow, I caused a mess here. I really caused a huge mess. Jeez, what was I doing? Okay, so I do have a, oh, all right, so let's do this. Let's make a directory and name it DC, and then go to it. This way, if I'm going to be attacking this machine, I can have everything in here. That's what we do. Yeah, my my microphone here just somehow decided to give up on me today. I need to find out why. I have a Blue Yeti mic that I normally use. So yeah, thanks for letting me know, Matthew. That's why I was a little late today to this stream, is because we were doing that. All right. So our vulnerable machine is called DC for this week, and I figured we might as well squeeze in and attack a machine during these live streams, because why not? So our machine is on 192.168.5. Let's do this. So let's first ping our machine, right? Because it's on 192.168.5.75. Okay, so how do I know where this machine is? Because if you have a setup like this, where you have it in VMware Fusion, you might not know. So check out your DNS server to make sure that you get that IP address. You can run a net discover, and it'll also show you. I don't want to run net discover here because I have a bunch of other machines. It might take a while. So I just happen to know that it's on 192.168.5.75. And since I'm in here, I like to run nmap, saved script, SV for versions, then I have SC for using default scripts and also finding versions. Then we go to 192.168.5.75. That's our victim machine. But while we're here, let's just output everything using OA. to to a file and name it nmap, just in case we need to refer to our results again. So we will have an nmap file called nmap, and we are scanning right now. So let's see what we have on this machine. And while I'm attacking it, let me check NetSweeper. You like SS? Yeah, once in a while I do run SS, and I use T4 to speed up things. But this so far has been my go-to command, because in most cases I get what I get fast anyway. And since I didn't specify the ports here, this only scanned the top 1000 ports, and that's very important. This is not top port 1 to 1000, it's top 1000 ports. I used to think it's port 1 to 1000, but no. All right, so now let me get this out of the way. We see that we have port 22, and we have a version here for Debian. We have port 80, RPC bind, and we have a MAC address. And as you can see, it says VMware because it's in VMware. So with port 80 open, let's just open our Firefox here. And by the way, I'm running my stuff in Kali Linux undercover mode. This is the newest version of Kali Linux. That's why it looks like Windows. I'm not attacking from Windows. I'm just using undercover mode here. All right. So since our IP address is 192.168.5.75, let's go to and find out what's going on there. Start a new session. Oh, I see. Matthew used T4, A, and P for all ports on the first one. Matthew, you said you run this command on the very first one. Yeah. So usually what I do is I go for the top 1000 ports, and if I get really stuck, then I would scan all of them. But with most of these capture the flag machines, I see that the top 1000 ports usually let me in. All right. So this is my approach to when I am met with a web page. Awesome. All right. So when I'm met with a web page, first thing I do is I just look around. It's powered by Drupal. It doesn't tell me what version though, but at least it's powered by Drupal. If I don't know anything about Drupal, this will be a good place to open it and leave it there for now. But okay, so we have that Drupal site. Nothing really. I'm looking for version information in the bottom here or right here. That way it's easy hanging fruit. So we have a username and password. It's the login page, which is great. So yeah, isn't that interesting? NetSweeper says login screen. Yeah. So the first thing that I do is I'm like, okay, what is the default for this Drupal? Before I even go and research it, I tried to do admin. Okay, now I'm stuck. I need to read some paperwork, some documentation, maybe Google or default creds, depending on what you want to look up. And here's a README. And this is time to get really familiar with this because that's what we are using to run the site. But that's not all, right? There's more to this than just this port 80. So sometimes I might say, let's view page source. And here I'm looking for any custom JavaScript that might be in here, any comments, especially in capture the flags. They like to put a bunch of comments in here that might be interesting, or they might expose some JavaScript. And the worst offenders that I've seen, they put passwords. You might even see passwords in here. So you never know. That's why you want to make sure you do a quick sweep of the page source while you're still at it. But of course, I didn't see anything there, which is unfortunate. Then here are the installation instructions. Okay, so it doesn't look like it comes with custom a password. In fact, it does prompt you to install to put a password. So this is not an application that comes with a default username and password. Okay, so we move on because that was a dead end. So now that I did this basic enumeration, and for those who are joining us today, we are attacking a machine called DC1 from Vulnhub. It's a free machine. You can go and download and do it yourself. Hekshala says you already solved this on your channel. Yeah, isn't it interesting? All right, so at this point, I'm like, okay, I checked the page source. I think the most important thing for us to do it live is so you can ask me questions and also so I can show you my methodology. I want to get better, so if yours is better, let me know. So I checked the page source. I tried the default creds here. I didn't see any version for Drupal. That is not nice, right? Um, I might do something, like a shortcut, like a Drupal say attack or maybe exploit. I'm trying to see if there's a proof of concept out there. I'll just literally I'll go out there and say, okay, how do you attack Drupal? Okay, and I see that there are exploits out there, a bunch of them for specific versions. So this is interesting. I don't know what version this thing is. So what do I do? That's something to keep in mind. I don't just go and start attacking with exploits that I see on the internet, but I know there are known Drupal versions there. I can say enumerating Drupal. If I was really stuck on this application, how do I enumerate that? Oh, look at that. That is a nice project on Git. What is this? Yeah, I like that. I like that. This is good. Somebody did all the work for me. So this is a nice tool that somebody created that I can use to enumerate Drupal. But so this is good, right? I can see that there's a tool out there, which is also awesome. All right, yeah, somebody did ask a very good question, like, hey, did Nmap find the version? Title, no. Nmap did not. Yeah, so Nmap didn't find any version information. So that's why I'm saying, okay, so how do I find out more information? But we did find something like a installed text. All right. From here, you can do the normal stuff, right? Since we have a web page anyway, you might as well. Let's say you can just do a 1 and 2, 168.5.75. And here things are also different, right? I'm talking and things are different, right? I'm trying to bust some directories here just in case they misconfigured something or they say an interesting directory like an admin page. Since I found port 80, I just do this just to see if I will be able to find anything. Because if it didn't have that Drupal name there, I have no idea what that is running. I'm not sure what that is. So this is going to bust some directories for me. I like to run dirbuster for a more comprehensive scan. So I'll start with derb first, and derb usually will find a few using the common words. So I'll just run derb here very quickly to make sure that it works. Then, so while that is running, usually I'm doing a bunch of things. I'm running derb here, and then I'm going back to my results. I'm saying, okay, really, this is not fun. I found port 80 is open, and it's running Drupal. I need to enumerate Drupal because, I mean, there's a reason why this is here. Um, oh, actually, I think I wasn't paying attention. It says Drupal 7 here. Oh, so this is good. So since we have Drupal 7 there, Let's clear this screen. I have my results saved, so I can clear this and move on. I I'm I have an Instagram. It's IT Security Labs. I don't sign into Instagram at all. You can join us on YouTube and Facebook though. So let's use search exploit. Since we know that we have a Drupal 7, I wasn't paying attention. You need to pay attention to your nmap result. Search exploit uses exploit DB to let us know if there are any. What did I? Come on. What am I doing here? I've used search exploit all this time. Yeah. Okay, let's try it again. Let's go back to our Kali search exploit. Okay, there we go. So what was I doing wrong? Let's find out if search exploit has any Drupal. Oh my goodness. This is not fun. All right, so we have a bunch of things here for Drupal. Drupal 7 is what we need, so I should have specified my results. So we're interested in the Drupal 7. And when I do run a search exploit, remember, the main reason why we're doing these live streams is not to get root, but to really sort of maybe someone can see how I think, and because the thought process is what matters. So I have Drupal 7, and that's what we have. And with all these results here, I mean, this is just too much. So the first thing that I need to do is decide, where do I start? Some of these are just useless, like denial of service. I'm not interested in causing a denial of service to my victim machine. I'm interested in getting a shell. I'm interested in becoming root. So denial of service is not going to help me. So let's see. And most of these are not compiled, so I'm thinking I need something that is ready to go. First of all, we can use a Metasploit. If there's any Metasploit modules here, they are preferable in the real world because you don't have time to be doing all that stuff anyway. So looking at these results, let's see, maybe we should go for the Metasploit because we have version 7 here and we have a Metasploit module and remote code execution. This one is a yeah. Let's go for Metasploit. Yes, NetSweeper and Hexshala. I wasn't looking at the version from my nmap results, but yeah, it's version 7. So let's use Metasploit and get root here, and then get going. Then after that, we can come back and do it manually if we have time. Which is where I can show you my history here. Oh. All right. So to run our Metasploit, we can run MSF console. Let me look at these results. Thank you guys for joining. We have a lot of people joining today. At some point, I think we had 17 people. So yeah, if you are new to our channel, I try to show you guys how I'm learning. Yes, Droop scan. Somebody said run Droop scan. Yes, that's what I was doing here. When I did a search, I was just searching to see like there has to be a Drupal enumeration method. Usually there's always a method, right? So I did this Drupal and I found a bunch. And in fact, here you can do enumeration for users. It looks like you can view some modules. This This web application is really, really needed. So here's another one. This one is called Drupon. It looks like it was written in Python, so that's good. I'm a big fan of projects that are written in Python because at least I can try to understand what they're doing, unlike the other ones. All right, so we could have done an enumeration using one of these. In fact, is this an nmap script? Yeah, there's also even an nmap script, which is interesting. Let's try this. Let's try to run an nmap script against that before we do our metasploit. Let's see what happens here. Somebody said enumerate version. All right, let's do proper enumeration. You know, I'm cutting corners on enumeration when enumeration is the one thing we need to do right all the time. So now I'm interested. They even have a Drupal security scanner for vulnerabilities. Oh, that's what you were referencing, DrupScan. This is nice. Let's see, is it installed by default on Kali? All right, so we didn't see any users here. So DrupScan is not installed by default. So we would have to install DrupScan and then run it to see if we have any vulnerabilities. But we already found the version, which is version 7. So let's go back to our results there. Remember, I started running our Buster. This is what you will be able to see. Okay, so we have a /admin there with a 403 code. So that's interesting, right? We have an includes, and we have a /install.mysql with a 403 index.php. So if we were stuck and we didn't know anything about Drupal and the version, this will be valuable information here, especially that we see that there is a /admin there. But since we know that we have version 7, let me check here. People are saying, yes, for that many people to be writing tools to attack this application, it must be very, very popular. It's just like WP scan for WordPress. People love to attack WordPress because for a long time people were using WordPress everywhere, right? All right, let me see here. Just trying to see what others are doing. Here, what I'm looking for is also maybe if I can find some robots.txt, because I mean, people usually try to specify some stuff in the robots.txt. What else are people are saying? Okay. All right. So now that we know our version, when we launched our Metasploit, let's search for Drupal here one more time. Make sure that we have our modules here. All right. So for our Drupal in our Metasploit, this is what we have, and we now know. They even have Metasploit modules to enumerate users. So we could have just come in here and did this. We could have just come in here and just run a bunch of Metasploit modules to enumerate even more. Oh yeah, NetSweeper, if you're running this right now, please let me know because that would be interesting. Try to run group scan, and if possible, I don't know if you can post maybe a link to your result, because I'm very, very curious to see what really happens there. All right, so let's run one of these modules here. Which one? Remote PHP code execution. This looks interesting. So we have a web API injection here. We have a remote code execution here. Let's see. Which one should we run? And we also have this arbitrary code execution. What we are looking at here is the ranks. And as you can see, this one says excellent and excellence here. And let's see, this is old. This is 2005. That's when this was that's when this was first put out there. That's interesting. Awesome. So everybody is contributing here. Thank you for making this engaging, because sometimes it's kind of weird, right? All right. Let's just say let's use 7, because why not? I don't know if you have done this before, but when I use which I rarely do, when I use Metasploit, I try to just rely on everything that it has. So if I say options, what is it asking for? Proxies, we don't have any. Set our host 192.168.5.75. And it doesn't hurt, because I mean we have a few here. If this one doesn't work, I will go to the next one. I only have a few excellent ones here. I think I have 5. And according to my options here, it wants vhost. I don't have any vhost. I only want our host here, and everything is good. So let's go ahead and run. Wait a second. Okay, I need to just set our host to the proper IP address here, 192.168.5.75. So this is our host here. Why is it not? Local host is 566. All right. Now let's try it again. Okay, so it doesn't want to work on this one. It says started reverse TCP and on 566 failed to respond. Okay, so that is not good. That is not good. So something is failing, which makes me think maybe I have the wrong one. What are people saying? Yes, we are almost done with this one. The moment we get done with in get root here, we will go back and play with you called it a Wazuh. I don't know how to pronounce that. Yes, I will show you how it looks. I was hoping to show you to log what I'm doing right now and be able to show you what it looks like when it's attacked. But so far I'm not having any luck. Okay, so so what you just witnessed there is what happens when you run an exploit that doesn't work. I ran this one from 2005. Wow, I mean, it's useless, right? So let's move on. Let's run a different one. Let's run 4. All right. Now let's set our host to 192.168.2.5.75, and let's run. Let's just make sure that we can do this. All right, this one seems to be doing something. So without knowing anything about this vulnerability, I'm able to get root here. I mean, I'm able to get a shell. And that's really scary, right? I didn't even read anything about the vulnerability. I don't know what it is doing. I have no idea if I'm just sending a bunch of packets and causing a buffer overflow. But what I know is that, as you can see, I got a Metapredator shell. What I encourage you to do is you need to go to exploit DB, find the exploit, read about the exploit, know exactly how you are exploiting this exploit, and make sure that you have a good understanding of the process. And if possible, try to avoid Metasploit. I'm only using it here because I'm doing a live stream. I don't want to be here for 2 hours, and I don't want you to see to watch me struggle for a long time. All right. So now that we got our Metapredator here, two things that I do when I get a Metapredator shell. I try to decide, do I want to jump into a normal shell or do I want to stay here? And the benefits of using a Metapredator shell like this one is if I wanted to move files, say copy files from my Kali to my victim machine, this is good. I can use Metapredator options to do that, or I can just hop into a shell. And the moment I get into my shell here, I now have to deal with the effects of, for example, now I'm in my shell, I think, but it's a limited shell. Nobody likes that. So we need to fix this with Python, which I think I have here. And let me know in the comments, how do you normally go about the process of trying to fix your shell? I usually have my OneNote with my shell fixes, and that's where I'm copying this one right now. So now I escaped that. Yes, Matt, that's exactly what I was saying. Is you look through the code and make sure that you can understand what you're doing. Don't just be pointing and shooting. You don't want to be doing that. You don't gain anything from that. So we got our shell here, and as you can see, we are www data. You can say ID. One thing about me is the moment I get into a shell as www data, I like to poke around. I like to say, okay, ls, what is here? What is happening? There's install.php. Oh, that is interesting. There's robots.txt. So as part of my enumeration, I would make a mental note. I need to go through all this stuff here and make sure that I see what's going on here. For example, I can say cat install.txt. Okay, I mistyped that. Let's do that again. So we can read all the installation instructions here. And this is part of the enumeration. So make sure that before you start poking around and going anywhere, go through everything in here, especially on Hack the Box. You want to really know and make sure that you do not leave any of these untouched, because the moment you leave here, you might be going away from the actual place that is going to allow you to get root. Another way that I like to do is I like to do this. Is it sudo -l? I like to see what am I capable of. Okay, Bash doesn't like my sudo -l. Sudo su. Of course, this is not going to work, right? So sudo command is not found here, which is unfortunate because I should be able to do that. But I can do an ID here. As you can see, I can see that things are working. So from here, if I had gone through all these things and none of these have any hints, none of these are vulnerable, none of these are showing me configurations. I'm looking, say, for configuration backups. If none of them are like that, then I will be in trouble. That's when I end up importing things like enum for Linux, because that's easier, right? Enum for Linux, lin enum, any other ways to make sure that that works. I also have a cheat sheet that I shared on our Facebook group of all the commands for privilege escalation that I run. And one of them that happens to work for this one is this one. This is only on our PDF document with all the commands and our methodology for finding things. And what we are doing here is we have tried to find any SUID permissions. Web.config check. Yes. I was trying to cut corners. What is the name? Hexshala. I figured I'm running out of time here, but I will do that. Web.config. There we go. So usually you shouldn't be seeing these files, right? Let's see what is here. Don't show directory listings URL, which makes directory browse. SQL theme 4.3 right here. Okay. All right. So you know you need to enumerate more and also find more things. But right now, let me show you the SUIDs that I was doing. What I do is I run the SUID command, which is part of my cheat sheet. And when I do, I go around. If I don't remember what to do, I say, okay, for this one, what can I do with this one? Then I just copy it and I go to Google and I just paste it and I say, wait to say SUID. Seriously, this is what I do. Then I'm like, okay, come on. It's saying it as a file. Ah, let's Google that. What can I do with that? Look at that. Privilege escalation, it takes me. So I found that. And if I haven't done that, I'll come here and read about it. And this is, do I have the Etsy password? Yeah, I do. Let's go back to our results. Now, what are people saying? Yes, yes. So I do have a PDF. If you want it, please go to our Facebook group. I go through that PDF document. So let's see. In this case, we know from this one that we can abuse that to get root, and this is the anti-climax thing that you can do. With that one, we can just say, I'm just going to do it for you. If I run this, because of this SUID vulnerability right here, that's being allowed, I will be able to escalate my privileges in no time. Now, if I say an ID, I'm root. I know. I like something more dramatic, but this is the easy one. This is the easy one. How do you get here, though? You need to run your methodology for privilege escalation. For me, it involves finding SUIDs. It involves running enumeration scripts. It involved running SU minus L. So that's how we were able to get root on this machine. A little bit of a hacky, well, we're hacking anyway, way of doing it. But yeah, now that that is done, let's see. We started a little late today, so. All right, NetSweeper, you missed it. Yes, you did. You did miss that. He says, what? Yeah, it happened. We ran this and we found this. And we learned from that from this SUID, we can escalate our privileges from there. Maybe not from here. I edit here. All right. There are multiple ways to own this machine. This was not the most elegant one, but hey, we did it anyway. Now let's go back to uh, Wazuh. All right, next time we will have a difficult machine, and we should be able to attack it again. I like these live streams where we can actually attack a machine and sort of I can talk you through what I think when I'm going through things. So if you like that, please let me know. Otherwise, also give me a thumbs up that we can keep doing this every week. Pick a machine. In 1 week, I might actually just ask one of you guys if anybody who joins these streams has a YouTube channel, you can join me as a guest or you can come one of these days. Or if you just want, for example, Matthew, next Sunday I can just have you be the presenter for these live streams, and you can show us your way as well. So I'm open to that. All right. So I did put in our description here that I wanted to talk about Wazuh. First things first. I did practice that. That's why I was just rushing at the end. But Wazuh is a host-based intrusion detection system. If you subscribe to my channel, you know that we have a network-based intrusion detection system, which is Suricata, that we deployed in our lab. If you want to send me an email, send it to that email address. I monitor that email address very often, and I give that one to people so that they can send me emails about stuff. I put it in the comments. So we set up a network-based intrusion detection system, and I was not happy because this intrusion detection system was monitoring traffic that was coming from my LAN to WAN, and the problem was LAN to LAN traffic was not being monitored. The traffic that was just communicating between clients was not being monitored. Traffic that was leaving for the internet is what is being monitored. So I was like, that is not good. So instead of deploying yet another network-based intrusion detection system, because I need to change my switch anyway and redo things, I decided to go with Wazuh for host-based. I was like, well, I have 8 clients. Let's deploy a host-based intrusion detection system. So that's what Wazuh is, and it's awesome. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is a really awesome tool, and I just wanted to mention to you guys because I know I see you every week. And the best way about this is that it's very simple to set up. They do actually give you a whole OVA, Open Virtualization machine that you can just download and import. So you don't need to set up Elasticsearch like I showed you in the first video of the other series. You just download the whole OVA, sign in with the default username and password, sign into the web interface, and you see something like this. And then you just start adding your agents. And within 20 minutes, you'll be monitoring a bunch of your agents. So it's awesome. The part, though, that I need to make sure that works is where the rules do not seem to be applying properly. So you need to go in there. Let me show you. You need to go in there and really add more rules. I think I don't think there's enough rules. I tried to attack my machines and the rules didn't pick some of my attacks, which I was not too impressed. So you need to come in here and add more rules, classify your rules based on the server types or applications, and really work on that. Which is, I mean, if it's a full-time job, you might as well spend time making sure that the rules work. Ekshala, where do you teach? You're saying you want me to give a lecture to your students? Yes. You know what, Leo Turner, you asked a very brilliant question. Let me put this one here. It says, can I send these logs to a centralized ELK server too? Yes, that's what I did. I did not download their OVA. I did not like that idea. Instead, you will notice that this ELK server that I have here is the same one that I'm running Suricata. So this is my centralized ELK server. So what I did, instead of doing it their way, I just added a Wazuh plugin in here, And when you add a plugin in here, you can then have a Wazuh engine somewhere else. In this case, I have this engine running in Ubuntu somewhere else. Then this engine is just running independent of my ELK server. But what happens is when the engine connects the clients report straight to my ELK server. They don't report to the engine. I mean, they do talk to the engine, but the data comes straight to my ELK server, which is awesome. Thread Connect. Uh, Thread Connect, Juniper Black, is it paid? Let's look it up. From this site, it looks like, do they, okay, do they have an open source? You know, we're trying to learn here. We like free. I might look at this one. Oh, they have a Kafka and ArcSight integrations. Okay, I'll take a look at it. Yeah, I will definitely take a look at it. Which tool do I use for these pop-up comments? I'm streaming using Ecamm Live. I'm using a MacBook. I mean an iMac for streaming. So it's Ecamm Live, and it's not free. Ecamm Live is what? I think I paid $60 a year, which is definitely worth it because I can do things like this, and also I record my videos using Ecamm Live. I can put PowerPoint presentations, and in fact, since you are here, I'm working on a course um, that I'll be posting on Udemy, and this course is going to be basically coming from the basics. It's not going to be covering some advanced things like, I mean, it's going to cover advanced things like this, but we're going to do basics like networking basics for cybersecurity, introduction material pretty much for networking, then some security skills. And I'm structuring this course as a course that I should have seen when I started several years ago. I wanted so bad to have a YouTube channel where people were hanging out, like what we're doing right now, where people were showing me what they're working on. I wanted to have access to somebody that I can just say, send a message, like an email, and say, hey, I'm working on my lab. Can we design it? Which is, then I didn't see that. And all the YouTubers that I kept seeing, they were too busy for me. So I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to start my own YouTube channel. So now I bring in people to my channel, and also I'm able to ask for help from those people who join us. I tried to use OBS, but I didn't have good luck with OBS. It was a little slow. There was a delay that annoyed the hell out of me. I needed to play with the settings every time and change the buffer every single time, and that just annoyed me. And I ended up just spending $60 to get this solution that works. All right, so you can tweak your services here, but I wanted to show you before we end this live stream something that I found that is really interesting. So if I go to my agents here, you can do some PCI compliance stuff here. You can run compliance against your machines. I wish so bad that I had seen this when I was a system administrator. Given that it's free, you can do a sort of a proactive scan. So here are some of my clients. This is the DC machine that we were attacking. I added it there. And I was hoping you'll be able to see what was happening when I was attacking the machine. But as you can see here, within here, we can check for a few things. Let's look for security events. Did something funny happen? We were causing a lot of security events to this machine. So as you can see, wow, we have a lot. This is the victim machine that we were just attacking a few minutes ago. And it looks like we did pick up some attacks. Here is some recon attack. Let's check what does, is this because of nmap? Access denied. So we did pick up some stuff. So as you can see, after attacking our machine, Wazuh does work. So let's look at the events, which might be very interesting, right? Let's look at, did we really pick all those Metasploit attacks that we were running? All right, I think most of these probably came from me trying to bust directories with Dare Buster. Is it what this is? I think so. Yeah, this doesn't help me. I mean, it does help because if this was a machine in production, I'll be concerned, right? And I'll be trying to understand who did this. This is the IP address for my Kali Linux machine. It's seeing that I did a get here. So yeah, we did actually get some alerts. This is what I was hoping would happen. So yeah, this is great. As you can see, this is us, and we did too many. Yeah, the idea is we get too many events because most of these are probably just dear buster trying to bust directories. But we did see a bunch of events. Let's go back to our dashboard and see if we can isolate another event. Somebody asked me, did I get my Cisco CyberOps certification? Yes, I did. That was a very, very, very brilliant certification. I owe a lot to Cisco. I learned a lot from my Cisco CyberOps certification. It is an awesome certification. If you have the money and the time, please take the Cisco CyberOps certification. That's where I learned about Security Onion and setting up these labs. After my CyberOps certification, I was setting up labs right away. All right, so we did notice we did not trigger level 12 and above, which that's like the shell commands. Those are the ones that I wanted. That's why I think that this needs to be fine-tuned. If you look at the rules for this Wazuh system, remote code execution should count as at least a level 12 or above, and it should have reported here. So it didn't. That's why I need to make sure that it works. But if we go back here, let's do this. We are almost done, I promise. Yes. What was the name of the company that we did the cyber ops training with? It was a really nice company. All right, so we have a vulnerabilities tab here. It would be nice if this was in production. I just click on here to be able to see if I have any vulnerabilities. So let's see. Nope, it didn't work for vulnerabilities. But I wish that I can trigger it to the point where to be able to pick that Drupal vulnerability that we just attacked to make sure that it works. Uh, but I'm pretty sure that this might have picked something. So if you haven't used Wazuh, I hope this is giving you sort of an idea of what this is, right? How you can use this to make sure that it works. Oh, okay. All right, so as you can see, we did see some stuff with this right here. Uh, Defensive version, initial access, and we do have a timeline here. So if this was my machine in production, I would put, say, a rule to say, alert me if you see something like this happening here. You can tell that things were happening and this machine was getting exploited. So wait, did you just see what happened there? You can drag timelines and it will automatically change. This is pretty cool. That's awesome. All right, folks. This is just my Wazuh, and as you can see, I'm a little obsessed with this stuff. We could be here all night, but thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate each and every single one of you who joined. Uh, and I apologize for starting a little late today. My microphone gave me a hard time, and I apologize if this is terrible. But so far, this is what we have, and I'm going to be playing around with this I like the fact that we can attack and look at the logs. We can attack and look at the logs. So let me know what you think. But yeah, oh, wait a second. What is this? I was about to move on. This is really cool stuff, guys. This became cooler than I thought. So we were able to attack that machine and we logged the attacks. So if you're the guy who likes to attack stuff, look what happens when you are running your stuff. Um, Here's another get, and it says suspicious URL, privilege escalation. So I mean, this. I guess this thing works. This thing kind of works, I guess. Yeah, I mean, this thing kind of works. We attacked stuff, we detected, so we kind of had both of we kind of did both worlds here. So thank you for joining. For our hack the box, I'm not going to be able to do hack the box this coming week. I have a family vacation coming next week. But there's a new machine that is causing people headaches. Let's see. Yeah, let me sign into my hack the box here quick. This won't take too long. But there's a new machine that one of my friends that I made on Hack the Box forum sent me a message today telling me that this machine is causing him grief. Has anyone owned this brand new machine? I'm not too motivated this week because I don't have time. But has anyone owned this latest machine here? What is it called? Let's remove. So these are the two machines that I haven't done. It's called Laser. As you can see, I mean, in 11 hours, only 6 people have owned root. That means this machine is making causing grief for people. All right, so if you're going to do it, please let's work on Laser. People are saying it's easy, so that's our machine for the week. In fact, we can just make our machine of the week the brand new machine that they do. But this week I might not be of much help getting user unless if I get motivated. But this week is super busy for me. So that was it for me, guys. Have fun with Wazuh and Surikata. I could have shown you my Surikata is catching a bunch of stuff, but actually I put it. It's running also my home stuff. So I don't want to show you guys my public IP, or I don't want to end up changing my public IP after a stream, because some of you may try to get me. So that was it from me, guys. Have fun with Wazuh, and if you have any comments, let me know in the comment section. Also, please subscribe to this channel. Let me know what I can do better, and join our Facebook group for any discussions. Otherwise, I will see you next week, same time. Thanks for joining.